This countdown over here should be at 0, which means the public sale for the Diamond Egg NFT starts, which is what this entire video is about. I will tell you the details on how much you get in airdrop value, because this one comes with a lot of different benefits. The airdrop alone is going to be worth more than the cost of this egg. So if you do like diamonds and you do like eggs, you might like this video. I will have links to everything down below. My code is also on screen if you want to use that. And while it might look quite simple, there's a lot to it. So let's start. We gotta circle back a lot and go into what is Cycle Network? What are the Golden Goose who are incubated by Cycle Network? What do those words mean? And how this one is probably going to make a decent chunk of money, not financial advice. A few months ago, we talked about Sonic SVM as well as the airdrop they had, and this performed really well. I think for the airdrop alone, I got couple $1,000 just by getting in early, and they had something which was new to crypto, at least new to me, and that is for games applications industries first TikTok app layer. Meaning when you're in TikTok, right, you're on social media, you're wasting your lifetime away, you're just mindlessly scrolling, they have a one-click option to go from TikTok into blockchain. Kind of like how Amazon has the one-click buy option, they have that as a layer on top of TikTok, so you simply click once and you're connected. And for that, there's Cycle Network, which has all chains in one. You could think about that as a one settlement layer, 0 bridges, being incubated by YZ Labs, valued at around 100 million, while also being invested by Manta, BuilderDAO, and more. And they make it in a way that any network or project can instantly achieve chain abstraction, which just means like multi-chain connection and chainless shared liquidity across all chains by integrating the Cycle SDK, for which they're also going to have a token at some point, but that is there to power multi-functional applications. Now that's the complicated part, just to like set the baseline. And they already have a pre-money valuation of 100 million with some of the investors listed over here, but more in total, as we just talked about, as well as various different achievements when it comes to networks and users, partnerships, and the audience that they've grown. They're incubating the Golden Goose, for which they have the Diamond Egg NFTs, which is the first chain abstracted and gamified DEFAI. So decentralized finance AI-based yield protocol incubated by Cycle Network, which means based on their main site, with already $12.5 million locked and a gamified aspect behind it, you earn exceptional hybrid yields. Meaning you do get APR on USDT of 10 to 18%, which is insane. So if you put in $100, for example, you will get up to $18 after a year, as well as additional airdrop yields from all protocol airdrops, Goose airdrops, and Cycle airdrops. Keep in mind, as mentioned for Cycle, the token isn't here yet, with a launch happening at some point, meaning that also plays into that when we see the 22.8% here. You can also see when you want to connect to it, you can continue with TikTok, right? So user onboarding, especially out of Web 2, is insanely easy, or you log in with your wallet, which then sends you over here, which you can deposit USDT, hedge X, where you can also see in the top, people hedge various different X, whether it's an ugly duckling, a white swan, or the golden goose, and you know, some more. It's gamified again. You can raise them, earn USDT, and also mine VGoose tokens. They also started VGoose pre-mining and will also airdrop that to Goose raising users, which already started 5 months ago. And again, like a regular yield farm, this is gamified. So there's more to it than just here's money, stake it, done. More and more things for this are happening. They already have over 17,000 active playing users with an average of $200 deposited per player. Instead of onboarding Web3 players that are already in crypto, we focus on people that aren't in crypto with the TikTok layer and making that a one-click access option. Let's talk about the main part for the Diamond Egg NFT. Airdrops will never be the same. Chain abstraction plus AI-powered yield, one-click TikTok login, play to earn. It all starts with the Diamond Egg. Each Diamond Egg is expected to get about 6,000 tokens of CYC, the Cycle Network token, which again isn't out yet, but based on their $100 million valuation plus partners and so on, this is probably going to be worth a lot. Considering at $1 billion supply total, there's a good chance that it is going to be worth about $1 per token, in my opinion. Maybe not right away, but eventually for sure. And even if it's just worth 10 cents per token, which would put it at a $100 million fully diluted valuation, then 6,000 tokens that you get, or $600, would already pay for the Diamond Egg. This is going to cost $350 for the worst 1,000 that are being sold, and then for every 200 being sold after that, the price goes up by $5. So if you buy egg number 3,000, the price is going to be $400. There's also going to be a 10% airdrop of the Goose token, collectively, with all of that being unlocked at TGE. So let's say Goose itself would be worth $50 million, then $5 million is going to be airdropped across all the people that have a Diamond Egg. There's a triple mining bonus for Goose itself. There are governance voting rights, websites, priority access for new features, as well as the option when they add more and more to the Goose game and things to the ecosystem that you're the first that gets access to that. Now in total there are going to be 10,000 of these eggs, and it's a first come first serve basis, which would then mean if we get about 6,000 of the CYC token per egg, and they're only going to be 10,000, then 6% of the entire token supply, or 60 million tokens, will be airdropped for Diamond Egg NFT holders. Obviously the exact amount for that is going to be announced at some point, but that's the speculation we have so far. And they also have the details listed over here on this article on Twitter, for which they also show the whitelist access, how to get the lowest entry price, premium access, all of that. And honestly, this seems pretty easy. It says how to get your whitelist spot, complete any of the following tasks, quote retweet, post a short video, which means if you have about 10 seconds of time, you're probably going to get a whitelist spot. Well, they also announce partnerships every now and then. They're already partnered with Monad, Symbiotic, Mellow, the OKX wallet, Cefu, AWS as well, and a couple others, as well as of course Sonic Labs that we talked about and Barrachain. And while I have all of this linked down below, let's focus on the tokenomics, as there is a difference for the Goose token or vGoose token, as well as CYC. For the Goose token, 21 billion is the entire supply, which can be exchanged for Goose at a 1-to-1 ratio. So if you were to start right now, where again 17,000 people with an average transaction volume of like $200 to $300 already participate in, you can get that token, in which 65% is reserved for the ecosystem mining, as it is also distributed through fair launch, incentivizing users to participate in staking, game mining referrals, governance, promoting a healthy ecosystem circulation and long-term value growth. If you have the Diamond Egg NFT, you also get up to 6,000 tokens for CYC. There's no inflation or burn mechanism currently, but that might change over time, depending on the governance committee and what they decide, which means something like a buyback program and a burning program is probably going to be in place eventually. And while the team as well as investors get 15% each, the foundation gets 10% and the advisors 5%, you might think, okay, that's 45% of all the tokens. That could be quite a lot. They get 0% at TGE, which means those tokens are simply gone for 12 months, as there's a cliff for all of these. Investors have a cliff of 6 months and then 36 months linear vesting, while the team and advisors have 48 months or 4 years linear vesting, meaning this is not here to launch and then die within like a month or so. This is here for the next couple of years, at least. For the future roadmap of what they have planned, right now at the end of phase 1, we get the TGE as well as centralized exchange listings, encourage the app developers to adopt Cycle SDK, boosting business-to-business revenue, which I think is going to be fairly easy, because most projects in crypto have the issue that the only people they market to are people already in crypto. And in order to drive up the price and the money in crypto, you need more money. And that money probably comes from people called retail, called regular people that aren't exposed to it yet, but with the option to have it just placed in TikTok where billions of people spend their time all day long. And a one-click option is much easier to onboard people out of Web 2. Phase 2 is mostly about expanding and integrating more Web 2 enterprises, supporting payments, data storage, all of that. And around 2026 and beyond, they want to establish a global chain abstraction infrastructure, integrating over 100 different blockchains, which would then mean no matter what chain you're on or what token you have, things just work. And I would like that, because I do like crypto, but if I have to have 8 different wallets on different chains and different browsers and different devices, it makes it unnecessarily complicated. So again, to sum it up, Cycle Network is the underlying infrastructure that builds everything for chain abstraction and so on and so forth. They incubated the Goose and Geese over here. So you have a gamified yield farm where you get up to 18% USDT APR as well as endless airdrops for everything that they built on top of that. That is going to have a Diamond Egg NFT sale. That is going to give you an airdrop of around 6,000 of their CYC tokens, which should be at $1 billion in total supply, because 45% is locked up for 6 to 12 months anyways. A good chunk of the tokens won't be in supply, which means if this goes to like $500 million in market cap, then one token would be worth $1, which would mean if you get around 6,000 tokens, you will get like a 15 to 20x based on the price that you pay when it comes to that. This egg is going to cost $350 with a first come first serve basis. 10,000 in total supply. For the first 1,000, the price is $350, and then it goes up by $5 for every additionally 200 sold, which means the most expensive it's going to get is like $575 at the end, I think. And even then, if the CYC token would only be worth 10 cents, then the egg is still free. Obviously, that depends on valuation, market conditions, overall sentiment, but with them already being valued at $100 million, I mean, being invested by fairly big names in the industry and being partnered with lots of them. And these over here being mostly their case studies so far, they have something that works, that people actively use, that makes people money, and they give you a huge airdrop. They have years and years of tokens to be unlocked in a slow vesting schedule with roadmap plans for the next couple years, making them future oriented with a useful product. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, those are a couple green flags. So I thought I'll share this with the group. And that, based on airdrop value alone, I think is going to pay for itself. That being said, I'll see you in the next video. And until then, take care.